A lot of times we find our taste buds addicted to sugars, that is, sugars from sodas, from cakes, from sweets, name it. And at the end of the day, this predisposes us to different health problems. That's why we're coming up with this initiative of the 90 Days Zero Sugar Challenge. And in this initiative, we want to create awareness of how taking too much sugar can be dangerous for our bodies. Yes. I want you to imagine when you are suffering from diabetes. That is the common condition that you all know that results from taking a lot of sugars. So think of your body as a car, and think of the food that you're taking as the fuel that the car consumes. So when you're taking that food, it is broken down and it produces the glucose, of which it is that glucose that the body uses, or the cells of your body uses, to be able to generate the energy that you use for work, or for you to be able to move from one place to another, or the car to be able to move using the fuel that you've given it to. And now, what happens inside our body is this. We have the keys that help us to open up the gates or the doors for this glucose to be used in our cells. So when this key or the helper is not present, you'll find yourself having challenges to use the glucose. So at the end of the day, you'll have inadequate consumption of the sugar that is present. Yes, you might have the keys. That's what we see in type 2 diabetes, where you have the key or you have the insulin. Actually, the keys are meaning the insulin. It is the insulin that helps us to open the gates so that the sugar can enter the cells of our bodies, and in the end, you'll have the energy that can help you to do the work that you always do. So in type 2 diabetes, you'll find yourself that you have the keys, but these keys are not able to work the way they're supposed to work. Or you will have doors or the gates that are rusty and they'll not be able to be opened up. The keys will not be able to work on them. And at the end of the day, you'll have a lot of sugar that is saturating in your blood, and it will not be able to do the work that it's supposed to do. Then in type 1 diabetes, you find that the body is not able to produce the keys or the insulin. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to find that these children, they have a lot of insulin, they have a lot of glucose, but which is not being used up by the cells. And now these children, they always need to be injected with insulin to be able to use up the glucose that is saturating in their blood system. So you can see the burden that comes along with the sugar, too much sugar that we have in our bodies. And that's why we are coming up with this initiative where we are able to create the awareness for you to be able to understand that when you have too much sugar in your blood, it is not good for your health. And all the problem comes from consumption of too much sugar. So this too much sugar, at the end of the day, it desensitizes, or it makes your body not sensitive to the sugar that is there. So you find that the sugar, almost all of it remains unused. And at the end of the day, you'll develop what we call diabetes. So you start to experience different symptoms. For example, getting tired all of the time. You'll be able to go to the toilet every now and then because you are peeing. And there's a lot of sugar that is causing you to pee every now and then. Then you'll always have thirst. You always want to take water, a lot of water, each and every day. So please join this challenge. Control the amount of sugars that you take. By this, I'm meaning the sugars that come from these drinks like soda. Those are added sugars. From processed drinks, from cakes, from everything that you know that has those processed sugars. Then we can, of course, we can't do away with all the sugars in our diet, but what we can do is we can try to do with natural sugars. Those that come from fruits, from these other foods that provide carbohydrates, because at the end of the day, when these carbohydrates are broken down, you have glucose. So those are the safe ones that you can depend on. So tomorrow we shall have more other videos that will talk about our challenge, and we shall be elaborating more about diabetes, its challenges, how someone presents, everything you'll be able to understand. So make sure to follow up until we complete all the 90 days of the Zero Sugar Challenge. Stay with us.